As a devoted Star Wars enthusiast and historian, I find it fascinating to delve into the untold stories behind the scenes of this iconic saga. One such tale is that of Declan Mulholland, the human actor who was originally cast as Jabba the Hutt in the first Star Wars movie, only for his role to be ultimately discarded and replaced with the CGI character. A human actor was on set to play the original Jabba the Hutt in the first movie, but neither the actor nor the scene made the final cut in 1977. The notorious slug-like gangster is one of the key villains in the movies, causing trouble for the galaxy's heroes from the Clone Wars era through the rise of the Galactic Empire. Um, we are our personal era somewhere, and it happened to uh, in while Jabba's most prominent on-screen role in the series was in a character was originally supposed to appear in the first film, which is back in the making of A New Hope. I, as a Star Wars enthusiast, uh, should have witnessed the encounter between Han Solo and Jabba the Hutt. There were numerous cutscenes from New Hope, with Jabba's being one of them. However, he made a comeback in the 1997 special edition. But what fans of the late 90s didn't know was that the original scene depicted Jabba as played by a human actor, Declan Mulholland, instead of the CGI version we saw, with Jabba being one of the most iconic Star Wars aliens. Mulholland's casting left many viewers pondering why Jabba was originally a human character. Jabba's final look wasn't achievable in 1977, but was fixed later. There were limits to 1970s technology. The creation of Star Wars faced numerous challenges as George Lucas' concept of distant galaxy surpassed the technological capabilities of the time. Many of his ideas were hindered by constraints such as time and money. Unfortunately, the scene involving Jabba the Hutt had to be dropped due to its ambitious nature. The initial plan was to have Declan Mulholland stand in for Jabba the Hutt with a matte process used to replace his performance with a new creature in post-production. However, Lucas faced time constraints, financial limitations, and lacked the necessary resources to execute this scene effectively, resulting in its abandonment. In the late 1990s, the technology finally matched George Lucas' original vision for Star Wars. When Lucas was working on the special edition of the first film, he revitalized the Jabba scene with computer-generated imagery. He replaced Mulholland's original Jabba completely with a CGI model from Return of the Jedi in this sequence. Although subsequent editions featured a more realistic CGI Jabba, this updated version has been part of A New Hope ever since, effectively hiding Mulholland's performance entirely. How was the real Jabba created for Return of the Jedi? The design was truly impressive. George Lucas initially intended to introduce Jabba the Hutt with the hope of developing sequels he wasn't sure would ever come to fruition. Um, it's therefore not surprising that Jabba appeared in, where he played a significant role as Han Solo's captor. Uh, Interestingly, Lucas's initial concepts for Jabba were less elaborate than the final version we saw on screen. In the movie Return of the Jedi, the character Jabba was a large puppet constructed with approximately 2,000 pounds of latex, wires, fiberglass, and gaffer tape constructed. Inside the puppet were two people, each managing one of his arms. Toby Philpott, a skilled puppeteer, controlled the left arm, head, tongue, and part of the torso. In an interview with The Telegraph in 2023, he reminisced about this role as one of his most lucrative jobs. Regrettably, he didn't save enough for taxes and eventually found himself without a home. There's a sad irony to Philpott's tale, because in his interview with The Idea, he's argued that his job has essentially been erased because of CGI. The Yoda of has at least remained, but the original Yoda of was erased by CGI. It seems almost like an illustration of Philpott's complaint. How Mulholland reprised his Jabba look in Time Bandits. Nevertheless, it was Declan Mulholland's portrayal of Jabba that made a comeback on the silver screen later. Interestingly, Mulholland also played a minor character in Terry Gilliam's 1981 film Time Bandits, where he appeared dressed much like his Jabba character, donning a fur-trimmed vest and beneath it a dirty ensemble reminiscent of the attire from the scenes he filmed for Jabba. The costume in Time Bandits is more lavish than the deleted scene from A New Hope. But there's an unmistakable echo of the original formidable Jabba the Hutt and its design chains. It's plausible that the resemblance was meant as an inside joke between Gilliam and Mulholland, but most viewers of Time Bandits likely wouldn't have caught it. And in all likelihood, the similarity is a mere coincidence. Regardless, it's an intriguing and perhaps unintentional homage to a forgotten piece of Star Wars lore